Here I'll try to explain you with a simple sketch, but I will not be able to make you imagine in the similar way as that imagination does. Sorry, animation does. Okay, so that animation can clearly depict the entire scenario of how water enters into the turbine and how the water leaves and how the work on the runner will take place. Okay, so I hope you all have watched the animation video which has been sent to you last night itself on WhatsApp. Okay. Alright, let's begin then. So in the previous sessions we have discussed about the working proportions of Pelton turbine. We have discussed about the design of Pelton turbine. Later we have understood the working proportion of Kaplan turbine, and then we designed the Kaplan turbine too. Right. So here there is a last third turbine which is for your syllabus, that is Francis turbine. First we would be looking at the working proportions of the Francis turbine. Later we will look into the design procedure of the Francis turbine. Okay. Now coming to the classification of Francis turbine. Here Francis turbine is a reaction turbine. There are several classifications as you already know. For example, classification with respect to the action of water. With respect to action of water, there are two types. One is impulse, the other one is reaction. So this Francis turbine lies in the reaction turbine category. Okay. Then, with respect to the direction in which the water enters, it is inward radial flow. Okay. So Kaplan turbine was axial flow, and Pelton turbine was tangential flow, but this one is inward radial flow. Okay. So there are two types of Francis turbines. One is old turbine, the other one is modern turbine. In case of old turbine, it was inward radial flow. In case of new turbine, it is outward radial flow. Okay. So basically, it's a radial flow itself. Okay. This is what the second classification is. Third one is with respect to the head of water. With respect to the head of water, it is medium head. Okay. As we know that Pelton turbine works at a high head, which is more than 250 meter head of water, and Kaplan turbine works at a low head of 5 meter also. But this is a medium head turbine where the range lies from 50 meter to 150 meter or something, right? So in this head of water, this turbine will work. So that's why it is called as medium head turbine. And just to give you the basics or the dimension, how it or the parts that you have already seen in the animation video. You just try to remember it, and I'll try to focus it. This figure is not appropriate. I would not say that this is correct picture, but as you know that I'm very bad at diagram. This is what I could draw maximum of. Okay, right. You know that there is a. Usually, what we have is outside there is a. This is your runner. Outside the runner, there is one more set of vanes. Those are called as guide vanes. Okay, these are the vanes on the runner. The other set of vanes are called as guide vanes. You might have seen in the figure. Okay, let me send you a picture of that later also. Okay, I'll send you a picture of that later so that I'll show you the different components in that picture in your WhatsApp. Okay, so there you could be able to understand with respect to this figure. Okay, so there used to be a runner. Outside the runner there are guide vanes, okay, and the guide vanes is covered by scroll casing, and the scroll casing was connected by the inlet pipe. Okay, now we are interested to understand the components of the runner. Okay, guide vanes are static vanes. Okay, they won't alter, they cannot be shifted or changed. Okay, so what actually the name itself suggests you that it guides the water inside the runner. Okay, there will be set of vanes that are associated or that are formed outside this runner, and those guide vanes will guide the water inside the runner. Okay, so now this is what core part. Okay, and which are connected by several vanes. Okay, this has got some thickness over here, which we call it as width of the runner. Okay, so this is the width of the runner, and from this width the water enters from all the side. Okay, then when the water enters, because of some kinetic energy and the pressure energy which is there at the substantial amount, that will create the work on this. Okay, anyway, we'll understand that work later, but I'll just try to explain you what is this. This is called as width. Okay, this I'll call it as capital B. Capital B is the width at the inlet. Okay, this is the inlet point. Now where is the outlet point? This is your outlet point. Okay, at this center the water will come out. Okay, so here there will be, again I cannot show you the three-dimensional picture, so that's why I'm just trying to pose as if like this one. Okay, so this thickness I'll call it as B1. This is B, this is B1. B is the width at the inlet and B1 is the width at the outlet. Okay, similarly we also know that we have two diameters. One is outer diameter, the other one is inner diameter. So outer diameter we are calling it as capital D, inner diameter we will call it as D1. Okay, so this is what the basic geometric dimensions which are important to understand the runner of the Francis turbine. Okay, so B being the width of the runner outside and D being the diameter at the outside. Okay, B1 being the width at the inside or outlet and D1 being the width at the inner side. Okay, so if you understand this part of the runner or these dimensions of the runner, we could be able to understand the rest of the part. Okay, now going to the first working proportions of Francis turbine, there is a first working proportion I have written here. What is that? N is equals to B by D. Okay, I have already explained you what is B. B is the width of the runner at the inlet. Okay. So B is the width of the runner at the outlet. B1 is the width of the runner at the inlet. Okay. You go back and see that animation video. You will see that runner. Okay, where the water enters and where the water exits. Okay. Now here N is B by D. What is B by D? B is the width of the runner divided by diameter. Okay. Right. So N is equals to B by D, and according to the working proportion, it will range from 0.1 to 0.45. Okay. This is the first working proportion. Next, VF. What is VF? VF is the velocity of flow at the inlet. Velocity of the flow at inlet will be given by xi into root of 2gh, h being the head of the water, xi being the coefficient. Okay. Basically, this xi varies from 0.15 to 0.3. Okay. It varies from 0.1 to 0.3, and u is your velocity of the runner at the outlet. Okay, u is the velocity of the runner, and its ranges from its coefficient Ku ranges from 0.6 to 0.9. 0.6 to 0.9 times of root 2gh. So if you remember all these three working proportions, we could be able to continue the design part. Okay. Okay. So going with the design of Francis turbine, we already know whenever we want to design any turbine, we basically want to generate some amount of power at the shaft. So power at the shaft is given by this equation which you already knew. Overall efficiency is equals to what? Power at the shaft divided by power supplied by the water, or which is called as water power. So overall efficiency is equals to P divided by WQH. So we already know P is equals to what? Overall efficiency multiplied by WQ into H. In the given condition, we will know what is H. So from that we can calculate how much is Q. Okay. So this is what the first thing. Okay. Right. Next is what we will do is we will try to understand how much is the discharge which is entering into the runner. Okay. So to understand how much is the discharge that is entering into the runner, what we will do is we will try to understand it from the figure here. Okay. Now these are the two veins I have. Between these two veins, this is the gap I have. Okay. Again, these are the two veins. Okay, and adjacent veins, and between this is the gap we have. Okay. Water usually enters into this gap. Okay. There will be a guide veins. The guide veins will guide the water inside, and the water usually enters between this gap. Okay. Now, let me call that N. There are few number of veins. Okay, like this we can count how many number of N values will be, number of gaps will be there. Okay, so if I had to find out what is the area of this, okay, what is the area of this, I'll call this as B. This is B multiplied by pi into D. Okay, pi into D minus of thickness of veins. Okay, so that will give me the total area in which the water enters. Okay, you try to understand this. What is this? This is the perimeter. Okay, I'll call this as pi into D, right? So we have gaps like this, right? So what I'll do is I'll multiply B to it. Okay, so the perimeter multiplied by B will give me the total area in which the water is entering. But this is not the actual area in which the water is entering. There are thicknesses also, right? So we have to neglect those thicknesses. To neglect the thickness, what I should do is minus of n into T I will do. What is T here? T is the thickness of individual vein. Okay. So basically what we do is that we initially consider this instead of doing minus n into T, what we do is that we will multiply a coefficient called K. K is equals to pi into D into B. That's what we do. Okay. From this we will get to know how much is the area in which the water is entering. If we know how much is the area in which the water is entering, discharge is calculated by, this is actually the area in which the water is entering. So Q is equals to, area multiplied by velocity of the flow. So what is area here? K into pi into D into B into Vf, right? So this is how we will try to understand how much is the discharge which is entering within the runner. Okay, so that is what I have written here. Okay, so K into pi into B into D into Vf. Okay, so this is from the figure. Now what we'll do is in order to reduce this equation to this, what we'll do is we'll go back to the first working proportion. What is the first working proportion we had? N is equals to B by D. N is the ratio of B by D. Now can you tell me what is N is equals to in that case? N is equals to B by D. Henceforth I can write B is equals to N into D, right? So I can arrive at this conclusion. I'll substitute B is equals to N into D from in this equation. So that's why our discharge will become K into pi into N into D square divided by Vf. Okay. So this is your equation for discharge in a Francis turbine. Okay. So once you know the discharge, how to calculate from this equation, because in the earlier step we have calculated the discharge, we'll use this equation. Velocity of the flow, how do we calculate the velocity of the flow? From this equation. Vf is equals to xi into root of 2gh. We'll use this equation to calculate how much is Vf. So we know Vf, we know the n value will be assumed, then the k value can be assumed, pi is, you know the value of pi, how much it is. So in this entire equation we will be calculating how much is diameter, d. Okay, so we will be calculating d. So if we have calculated the d, we will go to the third step in which we will calculate how much is the velocity of the runner at the inlet. So how do we calculate this? Is pi dn divided by 60, n being the RPM. Okay. Now in the overall efficiency, hydraulic efficiency, we already know this equation, Vw into U divided by Gh. I explained this earlier when it comes to deriving the equation for Kaplan turbine. Okay. So hydraulic efficiency is equals to power generated at the runner divided by the power that is given by water. Okay. So this is what the conclusion we had. Overall efficiency is equal to Vw into U divided by Gh, and usually the generalized equation was Vw into U plus or minus Vw1 into U1 divided by Gh was there. But as we know, in order to make it more efficient, we try to make beta is equals to 90 degree. If we make beta is equals to 90 degree, your Vw1 is equals to 0, right? So that's why the equation will reduce to overall hydraulic efficiency is equals to Vw into U divided by G into H. So this is what we got. Next, once from this equation we can calculate how much is Vw from this equation, because hydraulic efficiency will be given to you. So U we already calculated from the earlier equation. So we will calculate how much is Vw. Once we calculate Vw, we will go back and find out the phi value and theta value for the inlet. Okay. So I hope you all remember the inlet velocity triangle. I'll just try to draw it again. Okay. So in the inlet velocity triangle, this is your U, this is your V, this is your VR, this is your VF. Okay. So do you know how much is VF? This is your VW. Okay. Right. So we know how much is VF. We are used to calculate from this. VW you got from the fourth step. So we can calculate how much is tan of phi. Tan of phi is equals to VF divided by VW. Henceforth we can calculate how much is alpha. Okay. Right. Tan of theta. So how do we calculate tan of theta? This is your alpha and this is your theta. So how do we calculate this? we must know what is this value. What is this value from here to here, this distance? This is VW minus U. This is the adjacent. Again the opposite is VF. So considering this triangle, VF divided by VW minus U will give you tan theta. From this you will calculate how much is tan theta. Okay. So in the fifth step, we will find out how much is alpha, which is the angle of jet, and we will calculate how much is theta, which is angle of vane. Okay. Right. Now next thing is, again in the sixth step, what we do is we try to determine what is the diameter at inlet. Inner diameter. So this inner diameter is basically assumed as from the range of 1/3 to 2/3 of capital D. Capital D being the diameter, overall diameter or the outside diameter, right? But basically in most of the design part, what we do is that we consider D1 is equals to D by 2 itself. Okay. So we already have calculated how much is D from this second step. So from that we will calculate how much is D1. So if we calculate D1, you can calculate how much is U1. U1 being the velocity at the outlet point. Okay. Right. So next what we'll do is, whatever the water that enters into the inlet point will get exited also, right? So that's why let us take the ratio of Q by Q. What is Q by Q means? Discharge at the inlet, discharge at the outlet divided by discharge at the inlet. Okay, this is how the ratio I have taken. Okay, but the discharge is remaining same. The discharge will not change. Okay, according to the continuity equation. But I have written two equations here. One is K into pi into B1 into D1 into VF1 divided by K into pi into B into D into VF. Okay, let us try to understand what are these nomenclatures are. B and D, what are these? These are the dimensions of runner at the outside. B1 and D1 are the dimensions at the inside. VF is the velocity of flow at the inlet, and VF1 is the velocity of flow at the outlet. Okay, so this equation gives you the discharge at the outlet, and this equation gives you the discharge at the outlet. As we know, the discharge at inlet and outlet should remain same. That's why I'm taking the ratio of that. Okay, so generally what we try to do is that we'll keep VF is equals to VF1 itself. Okay, so both are getting cancelled. The ratio of this will become 1. So after solving this, I'll get to know how much is B. B is equals to 2 times of B1 is equals to 2 times of B. Okay, in D1 we already know how much is D1. D1 is equals to D by 2. I can substitute that into this equation. I can solve how much is B1. B1 is equals to 2 times of B. So this is how we solve it. Okay, so once we calculate all these dimensions, we have calculated B, D, B1, D1, then we have calculated alpha, theta, discharge, everything we have calculated. Okay, so next is we need to calculate one last thing, which is alpha. What is phi? What is phi? Phi is the vane angle at the outlet. Okay, this value is phi. So how do we calculate this? This is your VF1. This is your U1. Okay, so do you know how much is U1? U1 has been calculated from this equation. VF1 we already know. VF is equals to VF1. From that you can calculate how much is phi value. Okay, this completes the design of Francis turbine. So in the Francis turbine, what we have designed, we have calculated how much is the width at the inlet required, diameter at the inlet required. Then we have at diameter D1 and D2. So D1 and D1, which are the dimension at inside. So once after solving this, we might have calculated how much is alpha, angle of jet, and angle of jet at inlet, and angle of vane at the inlet. Similarly, we have calculated how much is the angle of vane at the outlet. Okay, so this is what the design part of Francis turbine is. Show you what are the dimensions that I was speaking about the runner. This is how runner is. Okay, so here there will be a shaft. Okay, as you can see, this is your inlet. Okay, the water enters here and the water comes out over here. Can you see this? These are the vanes. Okay, these are the several vanes which are attached to the runner, and this is how the runner is formed. As you can see, this is, I call it as width at the inlet. Okay, this space. Okay, so from all these gaps the water will enter. Okay, and similarly this width is there outside also. So this is your outside width, and there is an inside width also. Okay, similar to that. Okay, Now this is your diameter, whole diameter, okay, outside diameter. Then we have inlet diameter also, inside diameter also, right? So this we call it as B, and this we call it as D, and this inner diameter we call it as D1, and the inner width we call it as B1. So these are what dimensions of B, D, B1 and D1. Okay, B, D corresponds to the dimension at the inlet point, and B1 and D1 are the dimensions corresponding to the outlet. An inward flow reaction type turbine with overall efficiency 80% is required to develop 150 kilowatt power. The head is 8 meter. The peripheral velocity of the wheel is 0.6 root of 2gh. The radial velocity of the flow is 0.36 root of 2gh. The wheel is to make 150 rpm. Okay, the speed of the wheel is 150 rpm. The hydraulic losses in the turbine are 12% of the available energy. Okay, so hydraulic losses are given to you, which means we can calculate how much is hydraulic efficiency is. Okay, so what we need to determine? We need to determine the angle of guide blade at the inlet. Okay, which is called as angle of jet itself. Okay, here we are calling it as angle of guide blade at inlet. Okay, it is angle of jet at inlet. Okay, which is alpha. That is what we will calculate. Next, the wheel vane angle at inlet. Wheel vane angle at inlet means what? Theta. Okay. Next, the third one is diameter of the wheel. We need to calculate how much is the diameter of the wheel. Usually, whenever they say diameter of the wheel, it is outside diameter itself. Okay. So we will calculate capital D. Then the width of the wheel at the inlet, which is again capital B. So let me write down all the given data and what is to be calculated. Okay. Right. First of all, we know how much is overall efficiency. Overall efficiency is overall efficiency is 80%. Okay. After that, next is power is given to you. Power how much? P is equals to 150 kilowatt. Okay. Next, we know how much is head. Head is how much? 8 meter. Okay. Now we know U. U is equals to 0.96 times of root 2 gh. 0.96 times of 2 root 2 gh. You can calculate simultaneously and tell me how much is value of U and VF. Okay. VF is how much? 0.36 times of root 2 gf. So substitute the value of H in U and VF and tell me how much will be the U and VF numerical value. Okay. So after that we know value of N. N is how much? 150 rpm. Speed of the runner is 150 rpm. Next, he has given you a losses, hydraulic loss in the turbine. Hydraulic losses means from that we could be able to calculate how much is your hydraulic efficiency, which is hydraulic efficiency. So how much it will be? The losses is 12%. So it means what? It is 100 minus of 12. Okay. So how much it is? 88%. Okay. Right. Now the hydraulic efficiency is given to you. Next, what are things to be calculated? We need to calculate how much is the guide blade angle at the inlet, which is alpha to be calculated. Then we need to calculate how much is theta. After that we need to calculate how much is diameter at the inlet, which is capital D. Then we'll calculate how much is this one. Okay. These are the values to be calculated from the given data which is given here. Okay. So we'll go with one by one step. What is the first step we need to do? From the first step we'll calculate how much is discharge. Okay. So we know that overall efficiency is equals to P divided by WQ into H. Okay. So Q is equals to P divided by overall efficiency into W into H. So solve this and tell me how much is discharge you're getting. So once you solve the first step, we'll go to solve the next step. From the next step, what is the given value? What is the equation we had? Q is equals to pi. We do not know what is the value of K, so that's why we'll consider K is equals to 1. N into D square divided by into VF, right? So pi N D square into VF. So let us also calculate how much is VF. Okay, VF is to be calculated over here. Okay. So in this equation, once you solve discharge, you tell me how much is capital D. So 2.389 meter cube per second. This is what your discharge is. So once you know the discharge, let us whether the n value is given in the question. So if the n value is not given to you, what we'll do is we'll assume it. So how much we shall assume? What is the range of the n value? N value will range from 0.1 to 0.45. Okay. So let me assume it as 0.3. So we are assuming n value to be 0.3. So substitute the value of n as 0.3 and we know how much is Vf. Vf is equals to 12.02. Discharge is 2.389. Tell me how much will be the diameter. Okay. So 0.75 I will consider it as. Okay. So diameter is 0.75. We know that u, how do we calculate u? U is equals to pi d n divided by 60. So how much is the value of n? N is 150 rpm. So calculate and tell me how much will be u. Okay. So if you have calculated u, let us use this equation, which is overall efficiency is equal to Vw into u divided by g into h. So we know how much is u value, we know h value, and the overall efficiency, hydraulic efficiency is given to you. Okay. So let us calculate how much is Vw.
11.72.
So we already know the inlet velocity triangle. From the inlet velocity triangle, we could be able to conclude tan of alpha is equals to Vf by Vw, tan of theta is equals to Vf divided by Vw minus u. Right. So from these two, we could be able to calculate how much is angle of guide blade angle and angle of vane at the inlet. So which will be 21 and 37.7 degrees. Okay. So this is the last step we'll have. In this step we will try to calculate how much is B. Okay, B is the width of the runner at the inlet. We already know the D, the diameter at the inlet is how much? 0.75 meter. Okay, so we know this equation, discharge is equals to pi into B into D into Vf. Okay, so in this equation we'll substitute the value of Vf, D and discharge. We'll calculate how much is width. Width is found to be 0.22 meter, 225. Okay. So similarly, you could be able to calculate how much is B1 and D1. D1 is usually D by 2. B1, if D1 is equals to D by 2, what will be B1? B1 is equals to 2 times of B. Okay. So you can calculate the corresponding values of B1 and D1, which are the dimensions at the outlet. Okay.